For each sister and brother, every father and mother, give them peace, give them peace. For the angry and demanding, give them peace. Grant them love and understanding, that is peace. For the talker, for the thinker, for the lonely, desperate drinker, give us peace, give us peace. Let us leave here together, give us peace. Let us come home forever, give us peace. For the straights and the gay ones, for the young.
I was studying with the religious community until 3 years ago, and at that time, the superior confronted me with the fact that he knew I was gay, and also with the fact that he thought he knew I was running around to gay bars and being sexually active. I told him at the time, yes, I was gay, but no, I was not sexually active or going to any of the gay bars. He chose not to believe this, and even though we had quite a discussion on whether or not my gayness affected my ability to be a good religious, I was told to pack my bags and leave. This really hurt me. I guess you could say up until this time, the order had no complaints about my formation, my growth as a member of this community, but they chose, simply because of admittedly being gay, to ask me to leave. Very angry and upset. I quit going to church for about 6 months. My whole spiritual life had just died. It was gone. It was a terrible feeling. I couldn't pray, and things just weren't going right at all. About 6 months, and then that need in me for something caused me to start going to Protestant churches. About that time, the MCC was starting, and I became active in that. They asked me to become a deacon in their church, and I thought about it seriously, but I realized that this wasn't fulfilling me spiritually. It wasn't what I needed spiritually. I just realized I needed the Catholic faith, not because I had been raised Catholic, but because I actually believed it. It was what fulfilled me. And I started going back to church, and slowly my prayer life and my spiritual life grew. And then I heard about dignity, and so that sounds like something I could really use and could help me grow and to help other people. So I started going to Dignity. I want to tell you something that happened to me, and I guess it's the main reason why I'm doing this today. I went to Mass once, and the priest from the pulpit condemned homosexuals for being sick, child molesters, the kind of the age-old spiel that we hear. And at that time, I got up and left the church. But then I decided after that, and I didn't just decide, I swore to myself that if this ever happened again, I would get up again, but I would go up to the altar, up to the pulpit, and tell that man he had no right to say the things that he was saying, that he wasn't ordained to condemn, but he was a minister of Christ's love. This had a great effect on my life, and this is also the time I decided that I personally had to do something for other gay Catholics. I know so many gay Catholics who don't go to the church because of the church's attitude, because of what the church has said in the past. And I don't feel this is right. I don't feel that the church has the right to tell gay people to stay away, that they're second class, or that they're not wanted.
The unintended side effects of the church's traditional sexual morality has been an encouragement of promiscuity. Individual sex acts could be forgiven in the confessional, even when repeated frequently. For gay Catholics, this meant that the restless, furtive sexual encounters in the baths, the bars, the beaches, or the bushes would be forgiven, and the individual could receive the sacraments. But if he or she met someone they liked and loved and established a permanent relationship, they were now in a state of sin and could not be absolved without breaking up. Although the Church's ideal of sexual abstinence may be possible for some, it hardly seems to be the workable answer for the great majority. Given each human social need for companionship and interpersonal love, a stable relationship should be, theoretically, the ideal toward which non-celibate homosexuals, as well as heterosexuals, should strive. The Dignity Statement of Purpose says, "We believe that gays can express their sexuality in a manner that is consonant with Christ's teaching. We believe that all sexuality should be exercised in an ethically responsible and unselfish way."
Grant them love and understanding, that is peace. For the talker, for the thinker, for the lonely, desperate drinker, give us peace, give us peace. Let us leave here together, give us peace. Let us come home forever, give us peace.
My name is Bill Duffy, and I've been a Catholic all my life. I had a Catholic education my parents felt that I should have. I went to a Catholic grade school, Jesuit high school, and 1 year to a Jesuit university, but I finished up at a state university. I'm very glad I had a good Catholic background. Looking back now, I believe I've been gay all my life, but I denied it even to myself. I was taught by the Jesuits, and we were taught that when a priest said something, it was taken as gospel. I had a conflict between my homosexuality and my Catholicism, which I thought could never be resolved. And I had no one to talk to concerning my sexual feelings toward other men. I was 24 before I had my first homosexual experience, and I had to be well lubricated with alcohol. I went through the psychiatry bit. I went to confession, but I felt like a hypocrite. I even made a bargain with God to give up smoking if he'd cure me of my homosexuality, and that's the hardest thing in the world for me to do. But through all this, I never missed Mass, even though I hardly ever went to the sacraments. I once asked in confession how I could integrate my Catholicism and my gayness, and the priest said, "You're not supposed to." Thus, the Church denied me my right to human love and then to divine love. But despite this...
My name is Madeline Ritchie. I live in San Francisco. I went to parochial grammar and high schools and a non-sectarian university. Sometime after my college experience, I've drifted away from the organized structure of the Catholic Church, although not from the message of Jesus. About 4 years ago, I met and fell in love with a woman. We've been together since. Previous to that, I had been what I felt was in love with a man. We considered marriage, but that did not develop. The love that George and I have together is a very special and deep one. We have learned to appreciate and try to develop one another and our potentials. And about 2 years ago, one of the aspects we felt necessary to develop was our spiritual life. And through a friend and member of the local Dignity chapter in San Francisco, we went to a course on the church and the homosexual. And since that time, we've been members of Dignity.
Although Dignity members generally have a low profile as gay activists, there are occasions which have stimulated them to public action. One is the alliance of the church in New York City with other conservative forces to oppose liberalized civil rights for homosexuals. The scene, St. Patrick's Cathedral on Fifth Avenue. The issue,
whether homosexuals have a right to jobs as firemen, teachers, and other public employment. Those opposed, Orthodox, Jewish groups, and Catholic officials of the Archdiocese. The case is surprisingly similar to the attempt a decade ago to guarantee to the black community similar rights. Fears were aroused about the presence in the firehouse of blacks, toward whom many firemen held the age-old prejudices of our nation. Now these same fears are uttered against the possibility of a gay fireman in the firehouse. A decade of civil rights experience should have proven that such fears are groundless. A man's occupational capability is not related to the color of his skin or his private sexual preferences. Whatever may be the Church's view on the morality of homosexual acts, there should be no hesitation on her part to foster gay civil rights, especially since the Bishop's Synod in Rome called for Catholics to be prophetic champions for individuals and groups who have been treated unjustly, and doubly so now with the American Church's emphasis on justice for all. It would be well for Catholic churchmen to recall past attempts by ecclesiastical authorities to use law and force to punish belief and behavior differing from what those in power held to be true Christian doctrine. Church history points an accusing finger at those in power who killed, burned, tortured, and banished, and then attempted to justify their actions by citing out-of-context scriptural texts. For gay Catholics, the public stance of church officials who act in this manner seems a scandal and a betrayal of their role as pastors of souls.
We're here today to make clear to the world that in the Church there is a pluralism, that not all Catholics are against social justice and civil rights for gay people, as the Catholic News and the Committee for Protection of Family Life in New York City would like the world to believe. We want to make the world know that there are in fact many Catholics who thirst after justice and are concerned for gay rights in this city and throughout the country.
As a Catholic organization, Dignity encourages its members to take part in the Church's various forms of worship, the Mass, annual retreats, and daily prayer. In some dioceses, the Dignity members worship together. In others, the gay Catholics attend Mass in their parish churches.
Paul Diedrich, Dignity National President, led the Dignity contingent in a recent New York City parade and spoke afterwards.
Dignity is a national organization of gay and concerned Catholics with chapters in over 40 cities across the United States. One of the objectives with our chapters is to provide to the gay community in the United States, Australia, and Canada a place where they can go and feel comfortable worshiping God. The chapters offer the sacramental life of the Church, educational programs, social action programs, ranging from outreach to bishops in educative ways to reaching the poor, the imprisoned, the lonely and oppressed. We also have all sorts of social activities such as dances, potluck suppers, and what have you. The object is to bring people together within the Catholic context who want that particular expression of faith.
Hi, I'm Father Tom Odo, the National Secretary of Dignity. I want to share with you a little bit of the excitement that we feel of what's happening in Dignity across the country. We're a national organization of gay and concerned Catholics who are really seeking to show and express Christ's love to all people, regardless of their sexual preference. And we now have chapters in about 40 cities of our country, with many people in all of our states and also foreign countries. And lots of great things are happening. Our organization centers around three three particular concerns: the religious concern, social, and educational. And we've been gathering in these chapters to celebrate the Eucharist in the real pursuit of the religious dimensions of our lives, also gathering to educate both gay and straight people that for the long time a gay person growing up has felt the incompatibility of their being both gay and Catholic. But we're trying to help people, both the church and gay Catholics themselves, to understand that that's not necessarily the case, and that gay people can be both close to God and live the fullness of their Catholic religion and also live fully their sexual orientation as gay people. We understand that gay people are gay and even look upon that as God's having created them as gay, and therefore feel that they, like all other people, are called to live their sexuality in a responsible and uplifting way. We've received some very official and happy support from the various officials of the Catholic Church in a number of the dioceses of the country, really letting us happen and kind of sharing with us in a supporting way our pastoral work. So we share that excitement with you and ask you to be a part of us in that great movement of living the fullness of both religion and one's sexuality. Thank you.
Leave here together, give us peace. Let us come home forever, give us peace. For the straights and the gay ones, for the young and the gray ones, give us peace, give us peace. Let me